kind of can see where we're going with this now. So we've got our icon for the weapon, the name, the level, the experience that we have on it, the description, the refinement level, the durability amount. We have all the parameters. Well, we can have all the parameters. Half of these will be removed if we don't have that flag set. We have the parameters at the weapon effects, and then we have the traits that that weapon has as well, and their chances of being applied during attacks. So what's going to happen is that the next phase of this is going to be working on the level up screen. So this is like one of the interesting things, because there's a couple ways to do this, and they're kind of not mutually exclusive, but one way is a lot more work than the other one. And the other one is not as legitimate, air quote legitimate, as the other one. So the thing is, so now how are we going to power up a weapon when we give it a level? And in what ways are we going to do that? So my first thought was maybe, okay, we can create a maybe something in a note tag. So what would have is you would have maybe a max level value that you put in the note tag. So you would have something that would say, so it would be a bracket AWP Advanced Weapon Plugin for the opening section of the note tag. Then you'd have a max level parameter. Under that you would have then, a value. So you'd say, it'd be easier to show you, I think, what I'm thinking about. So let's say we have AWP to open it, and then to close it would obviously be AWP. And then so we'd have a max level, let's say 10. Now we would have, let's say 0. So this is parameter 0. So in other words, this would be the health. Instead, let's skip that and go down to 2, which would be attack. And then for each level that you can have on a weapon, you put in a value. So we won't increase it on that. We'll increase it by... so this has to be by a percentage. So 0.0, 0.02, 0.05, 0.06. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for each level, this would these values correspond to how much the attack parameter gains per. Well, no, this is going to go to this. Okay, so these would be applied directly to the base parameters. So no, these would be just regular values. I was thinking about the traits, the trait modifications to these, which are percentages. So that's the other thing to take into consideration when you're doing this as well. If you have traits that are modifying it, whatever you put in here is going to be amplified. So we said 1, 2, and we're going to do this a little more sparingly now because we can have a really large impact. So at level 10, we'll add 5 attack. And then say we also want to increase our critical rate. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this would be for critical. So 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that would be that. So next, let's say durability. So dur. So this would be max dur. So we'll say let's call it default actually. So default dur. Let's say 50, and then we'll say dur inc. So in other words, the increase over level. So first level we'll add 5, 10, 10, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So then that will define our durability increase. So this is one way to do it, and I think this might be the better way to do it. Next, let's say refinement. So we'll set level for refinement. So in order to refine a weapon, you have to get to a certain level. And to do that, we will define a level here. So let's say that at level 15, well, actually level 10 is the max level, so maybe we'll set it at 10 in this case. So maybe the max level could be the level for refinement. And we won't have to have that. Well, we'll leave it as a setting anyway, in case you want to say you can continue leveling up your weapon, or you can refine it at this point. And then traits. So if you want to add a trait in a level, so say level trait. I'm just going to say none. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what you would put here is the ID of the trait. So like if I wanted to add the bleeding trait, I would put 13 down here, if it didn't already have it. And then we need to determine for leveling. So the best way I think to do it would actually just to make this be a formula. So like to have it be like a some sort of logarithmic kind of thing. So EXP form would be, let's see, let me go, I have to go, we're going to go dumpster diving in Odyssean Void for a second. I think I have it over there. Where would you be? Economy? Or POC? Or where would I put it? I don't think it's an economy. It's not proof of concept. Crap, let me just open this up and we'll see if I can find it. There's one universe hierarchy, I think. It might be in that. I have to find the damn project first. I have not opened it in a very long time, so it's not in here. Alright, we'll need to go to, that's repos. Open project. Or maybe it is in there. Yeah, I guess this is it. I thought I called it, oh yeah, here it is, universe hierarchy. Yeah, this is it. So player, I don't have the player in here though. I am using it in an Excel sheet. This is how frigging far I have to go to find this thing. File open. So where would you be? OVX, I think it's in here. So Alt F11. Yeah, here we go. So base times level to the power of factor. I think I'll need to probably change that around a bit for we'll just throw it in there for now. So base we'll make that 124, and factor will be 0.15, and then the level. So Let's just see what that would bring. So get CXP equals so base level factor. So if we said the base was going to be 124, the level, let's say 1, and the factor is 0.15. Cancel. It's not doing it the way I wanted to do it. It's not doing a series on it. That's fine. 4, 5. So actually we need to probably increase that a bit. So that's pretty low. 7. Actually, let's do it this way, so we don't have to keep changing that. So, 124. Then the level is 1, and the factor is 0.15. Now I want it to always be that and always be this, but I want the B to change. Alright, so now let's move this up to 2.5. Or maybe let's do 1 point. So that's a bit more of a ramp, and then let's set this base to 175. That looks a bit better. It's not completely what I would use, but it's better than what was there, so we'll do that for now. 1.25. So, and this could, this actually seems like it might be the way to go, to be honest with you. The only problem I have is when you have like huge, like if this is 50 for example, you're gonna have huge tags. I mean, that's fine, you can handle whatever in importing it, but it's just the typing. It's gonna be insane. Well, it's gonna be that either way. It just might be, so you might have to use a Excel sheet to create this stuff first of all, and it's not too hard to do, to be honest. To like format something. So like for example, if you want to do the dir inc stuff, well, yeah, you would have to. So let's just like do an example with that here. So dir inc. Then we'd have 5, 10, 10, 12, 16, 11, 8, 20, 18, and 15. Now I need to open up another worksheet, another file. Which one is it? Must be this one. This one's the LXSM. Because I need to grab this. It's a little function that I wrote to concatenate columns by concatenate by ranges and with a delimiter. Save. Alright, so equals concat range. So we want to concatenate this through this, and then use a well, that through that, and then and this. Never mind, that was right. And there you go. So that would be an example of how you would do that. Actually, we need to fix that. It would be, the range would be actually starting from F. And as a beginning, we would have this and that. There we go. So I mean, that's how you could do it. It wouldn't be so hard to do that way. Obviously, you'd have to write your own function like that. I might include the code for that in the description or something, or maybe link to it, throw it in Pastebin or something and make a link to it. Once the video processes, the stream processes after we're done. So yeah, I think this is probably how we're going to go with it, because we can, easily keep track of everything in here, and load all this in and create some sort of object record that we use. And then so basically it would be like we would load it in, give it the key would be the ID from the database, and then the value would be an object with all this stuff in it. And then we would just parse this out into various things. And then as we are leveling up, we'll check all this stuff against whatever level it is and apply those bonuses. Yeah, so I think we'll leave this way, and we'll just go and apply it and save it. And we're going to go and end the stream for now. I may do some streaming tomorrow. Actually, I will do some streaming tomorrow. And I think what we'll do for that is we will see about how we can go about making weapons gain experience. And we're just going to do them if they're in the party, just the party, game party weapons right now, obviously. But that's going to be the next step, is to get these experience so that we can actually build the level up and actually use it. Build the level up functionality to use it, and then apply in the note tag stuff we just created and see if we can't get that all working. So we are moving ahead much faster than I thought. I thought this would take a lot longer than it has. I mean, still, we are quite a ways from being where we're going to be, but I mean, if you asked me when we started how long I thought it would take, I would have said maybe 4 or 5 weeks. If you ask me now, I'm going to say maybe by the end of next week this plugin will be done. That's how kind of far along we are already. Obviously, there's a huge gaping Grand Canyon-sized chasm shaped hole in the code where we have to deal with, actually equipping the items to the actors, and then saving those items and loading them back into the actors, and actually testing the code, because some of the code's there, but not all of it is. But we're kind of there. The main thing that's going to be interesting is the synthesizer. So what would happen there is that so maybe we say that once you synthesize a weapon, you can't upgrade it anymore. I think that's probably what it'll be, because there's just no way to properly handle that kind of a thing, because when you synthesize a weapon, it's going to be a weapon that's not in the database. So it's not going to have a note tag, unless we want to try and build a note tag with random whatever's in it to hold all that stuff. Actually, you know what? We don't even need to process that note tag on load, because we are actually loading the note tag into the note field of the weapon. So when we add the weapon to the game instance weapon thing, we could build it from there. That way we're only building out upgrades for weapons that are actually in the party, that have actually been bought by the party. That's actually an interesting idea. Um, let's see. What's the drawback to that? Let's see. The drawback is okay. So it couldn't be just the weapon ID, because if you have two of the same weapon, they get confused. You would have to have the actual either the actor that has it equipped and the slot that it's equipped in, and or the game party slot, we'll call it, that it is in that. So once a weapon is sold, we'd have to remove that particular one from that as well. Okay, well, it's doable. It's not, it might not be pretty and it might not be easy, but it's going to be doable, I think. Let's put it this way: if we can do all this, if we can do all this in a couple days, we can do that in a few, maybe 3 or 4 days. It's going to be an adventure. This is probably easily going to be the most complicated plugin I've done so far. So, I am learning a lot about how different things work, which is good because then I can apply that to my own game once I get back to working on that. And well, I don't know if I'll use all these plugins in my game, because I mean, it'd be interesting to have this in there, but at the same time, there's other things that I have that might conflict with it in weird ways. I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to do all the conversion and integration stuff that might have to happen for all the Yanfly crap, for example. So yeah, we'll see. But this is shaping up to be pretty interesting. So, thanks for watching the stream if you did. Watching it afterwards on YouTube, comments or questions, leave them below. Would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow sometime, where we will see about putting in the note tags, getting weapons to actually gain experience from battle, and then building the code for the level up feature functionality.
We are back to do some more work on the advanced weapon plugin. So, yesterday morning and last night, we basically built this entire bottom section of this, and messed around with the top part too of the more detailed weapon status window, which shows all the parameters that are changed by the weapon, as well as all its traits. And then later in the night, after we're done with that, we were talking about how we're going to handle doing the leveling system and things like that. And we kind of broached into how we were going to set up the data to actually make the leveling work in terms of like getting bonuses and things. And I mentioned doing note tags. So I actually created a example one here. So I think this is the way we're gonna go, because this is probably gonna be the best way. And I was thinking about this after I finished the stream last night. And what we can do is, I think I mentioned this also during the stream, is this gets loaded into the weapons in the .note object, .note property. And what we can do is when we're loading the weapon into the game instance weapon, we can actually just process this and stuff all this into a bonuses object or something, or bonuses property on the game instance weapon object. And that will save with the weapon, and it'll be there for when we do this. We won't have to do anything like trying to match a list that we create through loading the note tag through the game load, the database load, data manager load function like we did with the class changer. It'll just be there on the weapon, and we'll know that it's that for that specific weapon. So what we'll do here is well, first thing we need to do is we need to figure out how to process this. So what we need to do is we need to go to the class changer code and pull out some of the code that's in there to do it on that, because we're doing something similar with that where we have a opening and closing tag so that other things can be put into the weapon note tag for other plugins, and only and so we can only pull the stuff out that we want to. So it's just doing it this way is a way to make it so that other plugins don't conflict with it if they're using note tags for whatever you're putting the note tag into. So we want to go. Well, let's see. There we go. All right. So it's near the top. Kind of, sort of. Let's see. Plugin manager. Bunch of parameters. Is data loaded? Load class requirement tags. So we already are at this part. We already have the weapon, so we just need to get the tag out. Let's see. So weapon form start, weapon form end. Ah, okay. Requirements. So we're gonna want this. I'm just gonna grab this code. We're just gonna copy paste it over there to our objects file here. So let's really quickly create a new function here. Process traits. It was already a weapon. We need to create a new thing as well. A new so do we want to put this underneath? Yeah. Trying to figure where to put this, because is an instance what there? No, it's the bonuses is for the, yeah. So I'll put it down here. This dot underscore bonuses. Well, it's called level bonuses. Notices. Crap. Level bonuses equals, and then that'll be a object. And this with a double S. That's gonna be one of those mornings, apparently. Okay, so now in either case, well, actually, if it's already this, then we can just say this dot underscore. We'll have to add that to the build out, I think, as well, for the saving and loading. Okay, and then up here, we'll just call a function this dot process level bonuses. Okay, then down here we'll create that function. Game instance weapon dot prototype dot process Okay, so first thing, we're not going to need this. We're not going to need group. We're not going to need